Daniel Carter stood at the edge of the glittering entrance to the Harmon Industries annual gala, his worn shoes clicking softly against the marble steps as he adjusted his collar for the third time. The invitation felt heavy in his pocket, crisp, gold-edged, and somehow out of place in his calloused hands. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please stay with us and watch this story till the end. If there is any mistake or shortcoming in our story, please kindly forgive us and support us with your love, patience, and encouragement. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories, and tell us in the comments where in the world you are watching from. Your support means everything to us. He had found it in his mailbox 3 weeks ago, addressed to him personally, signed by the Harmon Industries HR department. A reward, the letter said, for his years of quiet dedication as a maintenance worker at the company's downtown building. He had almost thrown it away, almost, but his 7-year-old son, Leo, had grabbed it with wide eyes and said, "Dad, you should go. You deserve something good." And Daniel, who had not done anything for himself since the night the hospital called 3 years ago and told him his wife, Maria, was gone, had decided to listen to his son. So here he was, pressed shirt, borrowed jacket, Leo holding his hand because the invitation had said, "Family welcome." And Daniel had no family but Leo. And Leo had no family but Daniel. And that was the whole truth of their world. The doorman, a tall man in a black coat with gold buttons, looked them over once. His eyes moved from Daniel's slightly too short trousers to Leo's scuffed sneakers. And something shifted in his expression, not cruelty exactly, but that particular kind of coldness that comes from making quick decisions about people. "Name?" he asked. "Daniel Carter," Daniel said, handing over the invitation. The doorman took it, studied it, then looked up with a flat smile. "I'm sorry, sir. This entrance is for verified guests. I'll need to ask you to step aside." Daniel blinked. "I am a verified guest. That's my invitation. You can see my name right there." "Sir, step aside, please." A small crowd was forming behind them. Daniel felt Leo's hand tighten in his. He could feel the stares like heat on the back of his neck, the whispers, the polite but devastating judgment of strangers, who had decided within seconds what kind of person he was and what kind of place he deserved to be in. He straightened his back, not because he felt strong, but because Leo was watching. And he had promised himself long ago that his son would always see him stand tall. "My name is on that list," Daniel said quietly. "I was invited. I came a long way tonight." The doorman opened his mouth to respond, and then the doors behind him swung open. The noise and warmth of the gala spilled out into the cold night air, and with it came a woman in a deep blue dress, moving quickly as if she had somewhere urgent to be. She was Eleanor Harmon, the CEO of Harmon Industries, a woman whose photograph hung in every floor of the building, where Daniel swept corridors at 5 in the morning and mopped lobbies when everyone else had gone home. She stopped when she saw the small scene unfolding at the entrance. Her sharp eyes moved from the doorman to Daniel, and then they fell on Leo. The glass of champagne in her hand tilted. A sharp crack of sound followed as it slipped from her fingers and shattered on the marble. Everyone turned. Elena Harmon stood completely still, her face white, her eyes locked on the small boy with dark curls and brown eyes, who looked back at her with quiet curiosity. Leo had Maria's eyes. He had her mouth, her chin, the exact way she used to tilt her head, slightly to the left when she was unsure of something. Elena Harmon had not seen that face in 3 years, not since her younger sister. Maria had died. She had lost touch with Daniel after the funeral, consumed by grief and guilt and the vast busyness she used as armor. She had not known about the invitation sent to him. Her HR team had processed it as routine. But standing here now, seeing her sister's son standing in the cold, while a doorman turned him away from a door that should have opened wide, something broke open in her chest. "Daniel," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. He looked at her, confused, not recognizing her at first. Then slowly the memory surfaced, the funeral, the grief, the woman in the corner who had not spoken to him after Maria died. "Miss Harmon," he said. She crossed the space between them in 4 steps and crouched down in front of Leo, her blue dress pooling on the cold marble. "You look just like your mother," she whispered. Leo studied her for a moment. "Did you know her?" he asked. Elena Harmon, the woman who ran a billion-dollar company, who had not cried publicly in 15 years, felt tears slide down her face on the steps of her own gala. "She was my little sister," she said. "And I'm so sorry I disappeared." She stood, turned to the doorman, and with a calmness that was somehow more powerful than anger, said, "These are my family. Open the door!" That night, Daniel Carter did not save a company or make a speech or win an award. He sat at a table with his sister-in-law who had found her way back, and he watched Leo eat dessert with both hands and laugh at something Elena said, and for the first time in 3 years, he felt the weight on his shoulders ease, not disappear. But ease just enough to breathe. The world does not always reward quiet struggle or unseen.